Next on the Broadway Show, The Sweet Life. We're on the red carpet with Sarah Jessica Parker and Matthew Broderick for the opening night of Plaza Suite. Hello, gorgeous. We're chatting with one of the stars of Broadway's first ever revival of Funny Girl, Jane Lynch, and Peggy. We're getting to know one of the fresh new faces of Hamilton. I'm Tamsen Fadal, and this is the Broadway Show. Spring is in the air and the new Broadway season is in full bloom, so get ready for it. I'm Tamsen Fadal. It's one of Broadway's biggest opening nights yet since before the pandemic. The revival of Neil Simon's Plaza Suite, starring Sarah Jessica Parker and Matthew Broderick. And it was a star-studded opening night on the red carpet. Let's send it out to Paul Wontorek.
That's right, Tamsen. Matthew Broderick and Sarah Jessica Parker have waited 2 long years to bring Neil Simon's Plaza Suite to Broadway. We're here on opening night at the Hudson Theater to check in with the stars. I loved seeing you two on stage having fun together. What about this play felt right?
Everything. I mean, we did it as a reading for John Benjamin Hickey. That's how this all started. None of us were surprised that Neil Simon is a great writer. What convinced us was just that one night and thinking, gosh, this might be something to pursue in a different way, in a larger way. And so we did.
Over those years of the pandemic, every once in a while you just call over to the Sarah Jessica Parker, Matthew Broderick residence and be like, let's run some lines.
Yeah, they started avoiding my calls. We always stayed plugged in. They always picked up the play. I think at a certain point we all very smartly said, let's stop pretending like we need to remember every single word of this until we know we're going to make ourselves crazy. But they always stayed plugged into the play. They loved reading it. I think they loved reading it together. And so as soon as she finished her very busy schedule this year, she called and said, I don't want to take the weekend off. Let's start Saturday. I want to get back on the theatrical horse. And I've never seen two people work as hard as they have to bring this to life. And the great good fortune is it seems completely effortless for them now. They just seem to be having the time of their lives.
This is a very classic New York kind of play. What does it feel like to dig into it today?
It just feels like such a love letter to New York City, and it does feel like stepping into another era. Neil Simon's writing is timeless, and we are loving getting to say his words every night.
The word I just think is masterclass. I'm surrounded by masters. The writing's mastery. And I feel like every day I'm just growing and improving and learning and becoming a deeper artist because I'm surrounded by such brilliance, and it's a blessing.
I mean, it's magic. Yeah, I think it's especially fun having friends come and see the show and, see Plaza Suite, this play for the first time, and just amazing to kind of come out and be like, this is the most incredibly crafted play, the most amazingly written play. It's, I think, an amazing celebration of Neil Simon's work, just all in one.
For many years, it felt like every season there was a Neil Simon play on Broadway, and it's been a while. What's it like to dig into this play, which was written in the 60s? And, you know, his plays are kind of the template for so much TV comedy writing.
Absolutely. So much of what we know now, if it's Larry Sanders or Jerry Seinfeld, it's all roads lead back to that genius writing. If you walk into the beautiful Hudson Theater, on the wall are like 45 posters of all of Neil's plays. I mean, he was the most prolific, the most influential playwright possibly of the 20th century.
I love Neil Simon. I love this play. It's your anniversary of your Biloxi Blues opening, actually.
Did not know that.
Absolutely. So I know Neil Simon is special to you. How does it feel to bring Doc Simon back to Broadway?
Grateful as it doesn't, sum up how I feel about him. But even beyond that, when I was a kid, just his writing, I just always loved him. And his plays are very satisfying. They always have underlying serious story and then great laughs. And I don't know how he did it. I hope we're doing him proud. We're certainly trying.
Angelica, Eliza, and Peggy, the Schuyler sisters, continue to bring audiences to their feet in every performance of Hamilton. And Broadway's newest Peggy is Aubin Wise. That's why she's this week's fresh face.
My name is Aubin Wise. I play Peggy Mariah in Hamilton on Broadway. I, from 12 years old, had been working towards being on Broadway. It's just like always been a dream in itself. At like 8 years old, I'd started doing ballet. I was not the strongest dancer, so I sort of drifted away a bit, but I went to school with one of my best friends at the time, and she was doing like a youth show with like the local youth theater. And she was like, come see me in the show, come see me. And I was like, okay, yes. I went, I sat front row, and it just changed my life. So very first show was Annie. I played Lily St. Regis. I was 12. So it was like a group of us that just kind of did every single show within this theater, and it was just the best times of my life. Everybody in this group was like, we gotta make it to Broadway. And then I fell in love with Audra McDonald, biggest idol. Like her voice, her presence, just the skill of being able to sing and act at the same time. Like to a 12, 13-year-old, it was just like mind-blowing. But I remember the very first time I came to New York, her show, the Billie Holiday, it had just let out. And I was like, let's go to the stage door. I just waited, and I was like shaking, and she came out. So I just pulled out like, I think it was my MTA map or something I just had in my purse. And I was like, can you please sign this for me? I got the call to do the show. My agent was like, you need to go in for this. This is perfect for you. There's 3 sisters, you could be any of them. And then he sent me this 30-page packet of music that I had to relatively be off book for in the next 48 hours. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is insane. Look at all these words. There's a lot of words. They also asked me to do like my own choice of songs, so I decided to rap because I was like, well, I don't think anybody else is rapping. And I felt I was really in it, and so was Lynn. He was just like clapping. He was like, yeah, yeah. It was honestly the most fun audition I've ever done. And I walked out and I was like, if I don't get this, I don't know what I'll do, because it was just so perfect. It is so special to be a working mom on Broadway. It's especially special because he just turned 3. I feel like he is at the age where he can actually sit and watch and be like, oh my gosh, it's mommy. And I think every single time, like when I'm putting on my makeup in the dressing room and I'm putting my mic on and fixing my hair, I'm just like, okay, I'm doing this for him. Because I want him to look back and be like, yeah, my mom was in Hamilton on Broadway. I'm actually living my 12-year-old self dreams. I mean, she's just like screaming on the inside, just so excited.
It's the first ever Broadway revival of Funny Girl since it debuted nearly 60 years ago. Paul Wontorek caught up with one of the stars of Funny Girl, 5-time Emmy Award winner Jane Lynch.
Thanks, Tamsen. After wowing at-home audiences in hit shows like Glee and The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, Jane Lynch is back on the boards playing Mrs. Rosie Bryce in one of her all-time favorite musicals. We sat down at the Renaissance Hotel to talk all about it. Welcome back to Broadway.
Thank you.
How's it going?
It's going great. I'm so glad to be here. I was here last in 2013 when I did Annie. Yes. I was like, oh my God, the Broadway actor life is for me. And so I was very determined to get something else at some point. I, of course, didn't know it would be this, and it would be such an important show to me and when I was a kid, and so I'm just thrilled.
Tell me about that. You love Funny Girl.
I do. I was brought up on that album, the cast album. My mother loved musicals, and we used to sing this stuff together. I used to go into the basement and listen to it by myself and perform I'm the Greatest Star. And anytime I did something well in my career, like I would get a good job, my mother would leave an answering machine message of who taught her everything she knows, which is the song I'm singing. So thank you, Mama, for that.
So you're playing Rosie Bryce.
Right.
You are the mom who taught her everything she knows.
Indeed.
You get to be mom to Beanie Feldstein. You get to do an amazing number with Jared Grimes, dancing with Jared Grimes.
Oh my gosh, yes.
What has it been like as a musical theater fan, like you are, putting this together?
Well, I mean, working with Jared Grimes is transcendent. He is not only an amazing dancer, tap dancer, and human being, but he brings so much joy. Watching him tap is like going into pure bliss, because he's so happy, and and he changes it a little bit all day. I mean, it's basically set, but then you'll see him do something and go, oh my God, this man, what a gift.
Henry Street, no, it ain't Broadway, it's Henry Street.
As a true Broadway fan and a Funny Girl fan, you are obviously aware this show has not been around on Broadway for 60 plus years.
Right.
It's a big moment for fans of this musical. Yeah. So tell everyone who is a fan about this new version, because it really is different and new, and there's a new book, and
There is, but it's still the story. Like someone asked me, how was it updated for 2022? And I said, a good story is a good story. I think we can all relate to it. We all feel we have something deeply special about all of us. And we feel that there's something that we can give to the world. And that's what Fanny feels. She's got this talent, but she's not a standard size that fits a standard dress, which is a line from a song that we sing. She's not pretty like a Miss Atlantic City. She's her own thing. And her mother is ferocious in her support of her, saying, don't you worry about it. You are the best. You are the greatest. And she believes she's the greatest as well. And, finally people catch up to her. So I think everybody out there who feels they have something inside that they're just dying to show people and want to be seen for it will really feel Fanny's journey as she comes into her own in this story.
it's also fantastic for Glee fans to see Sue Sylvester turn into this musical comedy queen. I mean, it's so great.
That was such a great experience, such a great role, because it opened up the doors for so much for me. It really kind of was a game changer, very much so.
I have fallen in love with Sophie Lennon on Mrs. Maisel the last 2 seasons. What a great character arc that you were given, and
oh my God, yeah.
I mean, it's just fantastic work.
Yeah. First of all, I knew Mrs. Maisel was, this big hit, and I thought to myself, I'm going to be on that show. And I don't know how, but it happened like within a week. I thought, oh my God, I'm so powerful. So I read the script and I saw the dichotomy of the character, who she is as Sophie from Queens, who is kind of joyful and funny and raucous, to this very insecure, kind of bitter, brittle. She thinks she's erudite and elite, and just kind of riddled with stuff that you feel so sorry for her. And yet she's so joyful and so like in her element when she's Sophie Lennon, but she would never, on stage as the Sophie from Queens, but she could never allow herself to live that way, which was kind of sad.
When I look at your resume, you've done so many amazing things, from the Christopher Guest movies, which are iconic, to Glee, to the game show career, which is a whole other career, to this Broadway career. Is this the goal, to sort of get to do so many different things?
Well, it wasn't. It wasn't something I set out to do, but boy, do I love it. I get to do a lot of different things. And, when I was younger, I said yes to everything. I remember I went to an audition where they wanted us to roller skate. And I didn't roller skate. I bought a pair of roller skates and I showed up and I roller skated.
Do it.
Yeah, and I was terrible and I didn't get cast, but I never said no because I wanted so badly to be in the game, invited to the party. And so I was like, I can do anything. Just, kind of like Fanny Bryce.
There's still a whole lot more to talk about on this edition of The Broadway Show. Coming up, getting cheeky with it, we'll show you how Billy Crystal thanked the audience at the first dress rehearsal of Mr. Saturday Night. And we'll talk with Billy's Broadway co-star, Shoshana Bean. I'm Tamsen Fadal, and this is The Broadway Show. Welcome back to The Broadway Show. I'm Tamsen Fadal. Let's get back to it. Billy Crystal is back on Broadway in Mr. Saturday Night. The show opens later this month, but at the first dress rehearsal, the comedian and longtime Oscars host made a less than subtle reference to the slap heard round the world.
Oh man, we got to his show and no one got slapped. Unbelievable.
Crystal stars as Buddy Young Jr., a washed-up comedian whose star burned out decades earlier. And one of Billy's co-stars is Shoshana Bean. Let's send it back to Paul Wontorek.
That's right, Tamsen. Broadway favorite Shoshana Bean will lend her golden vocals to Billy Crystal's brand new musical comedy, Mr. Saturday Night, this spring. I sat down with her at the Civilian Hotel to hear all about it. You're in a brand new musical. That's not every day you get to open in a brand new musical, create a new musical.
No, especially these days, huh? How does it? I'm getting my sea legs. It's definitely a transition.
When's the last time you had a brand new musical?
20 years ago in Hairspray.
20 years ago. I was going to bring up the 20 number because
I'm proud of it. I'm proud of it.
Yeah, because
this
20 years ago, I feel like you were doing Hairspray out of town, and then you brought it in summer 2002, you were hitting your Broadway debut anniversary. It's amazing.
True.
Did you have in the back of your mind, like, I really want to be on Broadway for my anniversary?
On the 20th year from the day. No, it was the farthest thing from my mind, to be honest. It kind of came out of nowhere, but yeah, this is a special year for the Hairspray crew, for sure.
So tell me about Mr. Saturday Night. Billy Crystal
Oh, there's that.
is the star of Mr. Saturday Night.
Sure.
International superstar Billy Crystal, who was in and directed the film. And so this is a musical adaptation of his film from the 90s.
Yeah. You know, I'm terrified of him because I grew up, like, you know, he is who he is. He's a legend, but he's lovely and a genius, and watching him work and watching him sort of figure things out and try different jokes and just watching him riff. I'm watching a genius at work. It's a masterclass.
And you play his daughter.
I'm his daughter. I have not been an easy, our relationship has not been easy. I have had addictions, and I just have been trouble from the beginning, essentially. And it's really about his redemption in not just professionally, but also the sort of healing of a family, really.
Talk a little bit more about Hairspray. That is an amazing group of people.
Yep.
Obviously, it has gone on to become an iconic show. I mean, I was in the rehearsal room for some of that, and it kind of felt magic from...
Did it in the rehearsal room?
Didn't it feel like...
I don't think we knew till we got to Seattle. It was a hit before we even got back here. It was so bizarre.
When you think about that girl who opened in Hairspray 20 summers ago, how do you look at her and sort of the journey, and how do you look at all of this now? I mean, it must be a very different experience stepping into a new Broadway run than what that was like back then for you.
I think that she would be over the moon if she could get a sneak peek at sort of what was coming for her. And I think for me, I can't ever talk about Hairspray without crying. This happens every time. It's such a tender part of my life, and those people are still the most important people in my life. So I think for me, looking back, I know that it will never be as innocent and as exciting. I mean, you only get your first time once.
Thanks for staying with us. This is the latest episode of The Broadway Show. So glad you're here. Tina, the Tina Turner musical, is electric, featuring incredible musical performances and undeniable choreography. We met up with Leandra Ellis-Gaston, one of the show's great performers at Open Jar Studios, to find out why she's just gotta dance.
Hi y'all, my name is Leandra Ellis-Gaston. I am the dance captain, and I Ket in a Tina cover over at Tina, the Tina Turner musical. I was dancing when I was a kid. Always. My mom always had us moving. Like, if music was on, we were dancing down. I moved up into like step teams and church groups. When I got in high school, I did something called color guard, which is what you do with like marching bands. I just kinda was the girl that caught on to everything pretty quickly. So I was like, if they can do that, I can do it, but I wanna do it better. So I would just constantly like keep rehearsing or keep practicing. So I've been dancing since I can remember. My first time on stage, I was in 5th grade. I played Miss Hannigan in Annie. I remember the bow because I've always been a hungry kid. And so after we finished the show, I had an apple in my hand, and I went out on stage to do the bow with an apple because I was so starving. I put it behind my back and I'm like, oh my gosh, I messed up. And I remember hearing the audience and being like, whoa, this is it. Like, this is what it's supposed to be like. When I was in high school, nothing grabbed my attention like the stage did. And like all aspects of it, like the tech stuff, like how the sound worked, how the lights looked, how the choreography looked on people. Like, I just was so interested in every little piece of theater. Like, I couldn't get enough. There wasn't anything I didn't want to learn. Tina Turner is my Broadway debut. It was a whirlwind. When I started Tina Turner musical, I was a swing. So we hadn't rehearsed yet. And I got the call an hour before, and everybody's terrified because they're like, does she know it? And I'm like, no, I think I know it. I think I'm pretty good to go on. And by the time we get to that bow, I just boo-hoo cried because I couldn't believe my dreams came true. The music of Tina Turner has fueled me since I was a kid. It's that funk, it's that beat that like no one can really describe about it. I felt in my body anytime I hear her music or anytime I dance in general. You can feel it, but you can't really hear it. Yeah, I feel like I've always been dancing like that, and Tina's music just takes it out of here. Being a dancer on Broadway means that a dream is realized. There's more dreams to come, don't worry, but that dream is realized, which is exciting.
And that's going to do it for us. Until next time, I'm Tamsen Fadal, and this is The Broadway Show.